Welcome to Our Communiversity Today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a community affairs program from West Virginia Institute of Technology in Beckley, hosted by Dr. T. Ramon Stuart, president of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, working to make a difference in Southern West Virginia. Guest opinions expressed on this program may not represent the opinions of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, Southern Communications, or its sponsors. And now, with today's program, here's Dr. Stewart.
Welcome to Our Communiversity Today. I am Dr. Ramon Stuart, president of WVU Tech here in Beckley, and I'm thankful that you chose to be with us today as we explore Our Communiversity. You know, as you look back and you think the show started in April, and on this first Sunday in 2026, we have so many things to look forward to. But as we look forward to those particular things, this show has started to grow and develop into something that has grown near and dear to my heart. I never imagined being on the radio, and more importantly, I never imagined you all tuning in, listening to what I have to say or the guests that are on the show. But that's all because I have a dedicated team here that have worked with me because they believe in this concept of communiversity, where the community is the university and the university is the community. And so with that thought in mind, when I was originally approached to do this show by a lady that many of you know from this show called the Rick and Lola Show, none other than the internationally known, locally respected, I'm already putting her in the West Virginia Broadcasting Hall of Fame, Lola Rizer, who came to me with this idea about Our Communiversity Today, and she served from day one as our executive director. And so today, as we explore the meaning behind Our Communiversity Today, I'm happy to have Lola in studio with me. And as always on Our Communiversity Today, our goal is to ask and answer two questions. Why not us? And why not now? So right after this break, we'll be back with more Our Communiversity Today on News Talk WWNR.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Golden Bear basketball is underway, and we would love to see you courtside. Wear your gold and blue and join us for one of our many home games featuring our first-class men's and women's teams. For schedules and information, visit goldenbearathletics.com. Love sports? Come to a game, take in the action, and talk to us. Join us. Visit goldenbearathletics.com.
Don't just survive this year online. Thrive with Cucumber and Company. Websites, e-commerce, and content creation right here in Beckley. Give us a call today or visit us online to find out why we've been the best in the business for over 20 years. You'll get a website that's so sweet with the price that can't be beat. You'll get a website that's so sweet with the price that can't be beat. CucumberandCompany.com.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. Again, we are visiting with Lola Rizer, who is the executive producer of this particular show, to discuss the rationale and the reason behind it. Lola, how are you today?
I am very well. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Lola. You know, one of the things is when I came to Raleigh County, and believe it or not, this particular January 3rd, I celebrate the start of my 4th year here. But one of the things that I remember as soon as I got back is this familiar radio show, the Rick and Lola Show on 103 CIR. So, Lola, how long have you been in broadcast?
I have been in broadcasting, and I'm just going to say since I graduated high school.
Okay,
how about that?
So just a couple years.
A couple of years. We're gonna say that. Yeah.
I love it, but I will say this: since it's only been a couple years, and I went ahead and And I've told our listeners, and this is something that is near and dear to my heart, I've already put you and Rick in the West Virginia Broadcasting Hall of Fame. So
Well, thank you.
It's about your time.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So Lola, are you a Southern West Virginia gal?
Actually, I was born here in Beckley.
Okay.
My mother's side of the family is from Oak Hill, but my mom and dad were both in the military. So I traveled a lot when I was young. So whenever they would ship my dad overseas, they'd ship my mom back home. So I was East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, back and forth. But the Oak Hill area is where my formative years as a child were, and then Midwest for high school and middle school.
Okay. So with that journeying from East Coast to West Coast, you've seen a lot of things, but as I like to say on the show all the time, these country roads brought you home to the true place you belong here in Southern West by God, Virginia.
Yeah.
So what was it like? How did your upbringing, those experiences from coast to coast, how did that help shape what you do and how you want to do it in life?
You know, I'm an only child on top of that. So you have to learn to make friends quickly. You're on a military base or, going into a new school. I was always changing schools. So if I was going to have friends, I had to do it quick. I had to get to know people. So I'm always asking questions. I was always trying to get in the game, as it were. I was always trying to find out what was going on, and then on the flip side, it was always hard to leave as well, where a lot of people, especially in this area, have those lifelong friendships from elementary school. I unfortunately don't have that. But what I do have from our time with the early show with Rick and Lola is what I feel like a giant community family, because they've listened to our children grow up on the radio here. And I feel like they are my neighbors. They are my family. So surrogate wise. And so I've been able to build those relationships here, and I'm so happy for it.
Yeah, and I love the notion of family, and I see your eyes lighting up. And I know when we walked into the studio this morning, Bill, your daughter, was here, and Rick is here. So I think that's so exciting that listeners have been able to grow with you over the years. And not only with that growth, you have a special new little one too, right?
I am a Mimi.
Oh, a Mimi. Tell me more.
My eldest daughter, Sam, on September 30th, gave birth to our first grandchild. And I was like, I never thought I was going to get one, but yay, I finally got one. And his name is Frederick. And I'm going to spoil him rotten.
I love it. I love it. I hear happiness is being a grandparent, and I am thankful my mother over the holiday season took my little girl on, and she had a blast. And my wife and I had a blast just being able to sleep. But so Lola, you've been in broadcasts again, Rick and Lola Show, excellent show, raising generations of people listening to you, going through the ebbs and flows, the highs and lows, and here in Southern West Virginia station, you're on 103 CIR through Southern Communications, has a large reach. And when you think about that particular reach, when you get up in the morning, what do you set out to do?
Well, and something that I've heard you say quite often, I set up my mornings with responsibility. Sure, we have a good time, we joke around, but the first priority of our show is information. We want our listeners to know that we're watching out for them. If there's a weather situation, if there's, something that is going to affect them during their day, that becomes our priority for the day. If we've got, bad weather coming in, schools that are going to be closing early because weather is coming in, and that's the easy, example to give you, then we're going to let you know about that. If the turnpike is shut down for some reason, if there's been an accident, we're going to be letting you know you need to find another route. These are the things that are the first responsibility of any broadcaster is information for the community. Then after that, we have a good time.
Yeah, and I love it. And you embrace that concept, to whom much is given, much is expected. And so when you look, although you just graduated high school just a couple days ago, but having more than 20 years of experience in this particular field, and thinking about some of those things, whether it be COVID, whether it be snowstorms or the floods throughout southern West Virginia, that has to be a heavy weight to carry, to deliver, to make sure that your listeners are in the ideal position to be successful with whatever they encounter.
I remember when the flooding came through in Greenbrier and White Sulphur, one of our transmitters was the only one on the air. And we set up in the basement of our building, and our entire staff took shifts. And we were live 24/7 giving out information. We didn't have to ask our staff to do that. We felt it was our job. It was our responsibility. It's what we were supposed to do. And we were on the air until, things were leveled out enough. That is the true purpose of what we do as broadcasters, is to make sure that our listeners are informed. And so, those situations, COVID was all new in the ballpark. I mean, we've never dealt with anything like that before. So we were all learning. And there were some times you sit back and it was like, this can't be real. But it was. So you treat it information first, information forward. And, there came a point where we could kind of breathe a little bit, have some fun, but it's always our first priority is our community. It's always been our community. We want our community to be better. We want it to be safe. And we want it to be a beautiful place.
Yeah, and I thank you so much, and it's so appropriate. I want to talk to you today about Our Communiversity Today, and you talk about your community. And when I got here, I started talking about this concept, Communiversity, where I believe the community is the university, and the university is the community. And so with that, and I hear and you, Southern Communications, and Shane and Beth and Rick and you, I hear you talk about that whole thing as it relates to community. And so I think it made it a real good fit for Our Communiversity Today. But what we're going to do real quick, Lola, is we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back and talk more about the vision you had for Our Communiversity Today. So to our listeners, stay tuned to News Talk WWNR for more Our Communiversity Today.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Golden Bear basketball is underway, and we would love to see you courtside. Wear your gold and blue and join us for one of our many home games featuring our first-class men's and women's teams. For schedules and information, visit goldenbearathletics.com. Love sports? Come to a game, take in the action, and talk to us. Join us. Visit goldenbearathletics.com.
Don't just survive this year online. Thrive with Cucumber and Company. Websites, e-commerce, and content creation right here in Beckley. Give us a call today or visit us online to find out why we've been the best in the business for over 20 years. You'll get a website that's so sweet with the price that can't be beat. You'll get a website that's so sweet with the price that can't be beat. CucumberandCompany.com.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. Again, in studio is Lola Rizer from the Rick and Lola Show, but also the executive producer of Our Communiversity Today, to just discuss her vision. And, you know, one of the things, Lola, we talked about your background from coast to coast, how these experiences influence you, but you really talked in the first segment about how community drives you, how you embrace that responsibility that to whom much is given, much is expected. And so I heard you keep talking about community. And one of the things, again, as I sit here kicking off 2026 with you and our listeners, I never in a million years thought I would be doing any kind of radio. I got this slow West Virginia drawl that I would think would put people to sleep, but most of them are driving right now as they go through. But with that, what made you approach me about a radio show?
Well, when you bring up the idea of communiversity and you say the university is the community and the community is the university, I wanted to explore that more. How does that fit together, and how does that elevate our area? How does that make us better? And what can we do to make it better? Joining forces with the university and also joining forces with the community. I think it's really easy for the community as a whole to just kind of sit back and cross their arms and just say, you know, it's horrible here. It's horrible. It's not what it was. It's never going to be what it was. And, you know, my father used to say the only thing permanent in this whole world is change. And you know what? We've got to evolve. Beckley has to evolve. Southern West Virginia has to evolve. You've got to take advantage of these opportunities. And I do know that change is hard. It is hard. And there are those people that accept it, and there are those people that resist it with every fiber of their being. And if we can take the blinders off and show the community what is possible if we come together, then we can make Beckley a better place. We can make downtown more vibrant. We can bring more people here and keep our graduates here working in a community that they're proud of. And I know that's one of your goals, is when your graduates of WVU Tech, you want them to want to stay here and to work and to make an impact on the community that they're graduating in.
Yeah, I say this all the time. It's important for us to develop an environment where people want to live, work, play, and raise a family here in Southern West Virginia. Mm-hmm. You know, we always talk about exports and different things like that. But one of our biggest exports right now is our particular talent, our educated talent that goes through and, you know, gets an education and then leaves. And so with that in mind, this communiversity concept where all ships rise with the tide, where the community is the university is the community, bringing things together, leveraging that annual economic impact of more than $35 million right here on South Canal Street that emanates from tech, coupling it with the vast array of radio stations under the Southern Communications umbrella. This is an opportunity for making sure people know who we both are, what we do, and assuring people that we can, shall, will do it for them too, because ultimately we want to be in a situation or a predicament where all ships rise with the tide. And so with that in mind, as I look at you and I ask you about this show and everything, why me? There are so many people around in this particular area that have more experience than me, that know more people than me, that have accomplished so much more. But why me for this show?
I think with your vision of Communiversity, you are the person to lead the charge on this. You are the voice that needs to be the one taking the helm and just saying, this is what Communiversity could be. And this is where we could go. But it needed to be a voice of reason, not a voice of hysteric or a voice of anger, a voice of logic. And I think that's something that you bring to the table.
Boy, I'm liking this. I'm a voice of logic and everything right here.
Because you take it right down the middle line. You're not left. You're not right. You're right down the middle. It's very factual, and I think that's part of your engineering. You're just going to stay with the facts right down the middle. And the conversations that we have, we're not going to answer a question in these conversations, but maybe it will spark another conversation. Maybe it will spark an idea. Maybe it will spark somebody going, we could do that.
Absolutely.
Why couldn't we do that? And if that happens, if you listen to one of these shows and that happens to you, do it.
I love the notion that you picked up on. I stay right down in the middle. Mm-hmm. I think right now in our world and society, we either have to be way far right or way far left or whatever. But honestly, the ability to meet in the middle gives us all an opportunity to do better and be better. And, when I look at the show and when we talked about producing it, I'm not here to prove right. I'm not here to suggest wrong. I'm here to ask how my particular listeners can be enlightened by an individual who believes that he or she is trying to do something to help people do better and be better. Mm-hmm. And so, for our listeners, again, I do walk the middle because I think too many people do things for likes on social media, or too many people do things to see if they can go viral. I want to do things that help other people be the best they can be.
Exactly. And maybe if we can show them, hey, there's another way to do it that is not left or right. It's just here. Mm-hmm. It's like family meal time. Let's just all come to the table and work together. And unfortunately, if I'm not going to get all political, but there is division, and that division can cause reluctance in moving forward. Mm-hmm. And so our conversations here hopefully will spark an idea on how to remove that reluctance and just move forward and make it a better place.
Yeah, and when you talk about that division, again, when listeners tune in to Our Communiversity Today, whether on radio or through our podcast, I want them to have a sense of normalcy mm-hmm. for even just the 30 minutes that we engage with one another, because I do think so many things are so left or right, or as we say in the engineering world, especially as a computer engineer, binary, 1 or 0, but usually there is something in between that can be worked on. And so as you go back and you reflect on the shows and you think about some of our guests, and I, we've actually brought some very well-known, influential people mm-hmm. through the show. We even do a little thing. Whenever I have the presidents for the day, and if any of our listeners have young people that want to come explore tech and see what I do, I'd encourage you to go to our website and sign up for President for the Day. But whatever I do that day, they do. So we've had 3 different presidents for the day on the radio and stuff. Mm-hmm. But when you look back over 2025 and you think about the show and you think about some of the guests, what are some of the memories that stand out in your mind?
Oh, my goodness. One of the ones that right off the top is the show that we did with Just for Kids.
Oh, and our first ever show.
Our very first show that almost had me in tears. I was not expecting the impact from the WVU nursing department They're really go back and listen to that. I'm not going to get into details, but
well, let me just say one thing before you move on to another example.
Yeah.
What was so humbling about that? We had Dr. Danae Johnson, the executive director from Just for Kids, and Hillary Parcell from our team. And what we realized is there was this void with pediatric sexual assault nurses. And young people that may have been violated here in Southern West Virginia would have to, in some cases, wait days to actually get a sexual assault evaluation. And so we were able to work to get nursing faculty members at Tech certified in this. But one of the things that warmed my heart is some of our listeners heard it, and it inspired some other nurses to go get the same training.
Yes.
So just so impactful. And I'm sorry, I had to catch that one.
That was from that one episode. That was like the first episode. Blew my mind when we found out about that. And of course, now they've opened up another location in Oak Hill, which congratulations to them for that. Also, the Southern West Virginia Housing.
Miss Kimberly Williams.
Kimberly Williams.
Yes.
That was, taking care of our veterans is so important.
And those, I think there were like 30 some vouchers or so for the veterans.
Yeah.
And, I need to follow up with Kim to see exactly the different things that was able to come about at that particular show. And, as I look, and I say this all the time to our listeners, I love to look into my guest's eyes and I see that you can see that you have made an impact. And so, Lola, I want to thank you for producing this particular show. I want to thank you for birthing this idea. And so we're going to take a short break. So stick with News Talk WWNR as we close out this edition of Our Communiversity Today.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
Don't just survive this year online. Thrive with Cucumber and Company. Websites, e-commerce, and content creation right here in Beckley. Give us a call today or visit us online to find out why we've been the best in the business for over 20 years. You'll get a website that's so sweet with the price that can't be beat. You'll get a website that's so sweet with the price that can't be beat. CucumberandCompany.com.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride at Pendleton Community Bank. Our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. Again, I want to thank Lola Rizer. This is special for me just to recap 2025 as we think about 2026. But Lola, when she came to me with this idea of Our Communiversity Today, I was a little bit hesitant. But after listening to her and Rick so many years on the radio, I asked, why couldn't I try to help too? And so not only am I thankful for Lola and her vision and her help to produce this show weekly, I'm also thankful for each one of you. We've come a long way since April, but we're looking forward to 2026. Lola and I will be working to find people that you want to not only hear from, but also to hear about. And so what I'd ask you to do is please visit wwnrradio.com for additional information about Our Communiversity Today and also how you can help build a brighter future for Southern West Virginia tomorrow.
You've been listening to Our Communiversity Today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a production of West Virginia University Institute of Technology and Communiversity partner, Southern Communications in Beckley. For more on this program and contact information, visit our website at wwnrradio.com.